guys. I wanted to post another video this week. I think I'm going to try to do it weekly. It may not always happen, but if not bi-weekly, I'm going to make it really consistent from now on. So I've been back at the gym for a while now, and I guess this week I spent a lot of time in my Wing Chun classes, and I missed a couple of G classes, unfortunately. But this week in Wing Chun, we were looking. A lot of our classes had to do with using the Chun style action and passing incoming limbs and incoming strikes. So you pass out a block and then Chun style to get around it, or in some instances, maybe you throw a punch and your hand would get deflected and you Chun style around to get back on top of the action. We did that a couple of times this week actually, and every time you do it, you'll find that there's other actions that can be incorporated and other ways to train that. So it's interesting how 2 hours doesn't even give you enough time to look at everything that Packs Out has to offer. It's very kind of interesting to me to see it from that perspective and understand that a very simple action can have so many ways to use that action, so many ways to be utilized that just like 2 hours or 4 hours of training may not be enough to cover all the basics for actual drilling and actually allow you to learn those actions. On Friday, we were helping Sean get prepared for his open gathering on Saturday. He works with the DBMA guys. But they don't allow any videotaping of their events, so unfortunately I can't share any of the video from the wicked fights that we got to watch, but Sean was doing full contact stick fighting. So we were looking at grappling with stick and also closing the gap and using your stick once you get into clinch. We did it all from our luau drill, which is standard 1 in 3 angles from Filipino stick fighting. So because I couldn't get video of the actual full contact stick fights, a friend of mine, Jean from the Academy of European and Martial Arts, or Emma, that trains at our gym, they got us fighting, me and Sean doing a stick fight after our open house a couple weeks ago. So I just got the video today, so I'm going to post that as well, and I'll put an annotation like over here somewhere for that, and I'll probably put up another annotation for Dog Brothers in case you're interested in checking out some full contact stick fighting and some of the crazy stuff that they get working on. The videos are really cool, and as you start paying attention to what's actually happening, you see that even really well-trained individuals with full contact is brought into it, and the risk of broken fingers, hands, limbs, faces are brought into the equation. There's a lot of apprehension and a lot of distance that gets maintained because you have to, right? And I think it's a lot harder to track your action and remain and keep your moves interruptible and be able to adjust to what's going on in the fight when it's at that level. So I think a lot of people think that, well, I'll just train to be able to change what I'm doing instantaneously, and it's like, that's great. That is something I train all the time. That's something I love training, but you got to realize that when someone comes in at you with a ton of force, it's not always easy, or it's not always possible for you to read that and respond to it immediately. That's what we're training for, and we're trying to get to that point, but you gotta understand that sometimes things are gonna look sloppy, and that's because there's a lot of energy and a lot of momentum and a lot of direction coming at you. And it's like, how do you deal with that on the fly? And it's like, sometimes even staying calm doesn't allow you enough time to catch that. No matter how good you are, sometimes you're gonna be caught off guard, and then you have to try to work your way out of whatever hole you've been put in, whether it's someone being in a more dominant position when they're grappling with you, or somebody's stick coming down on you, hitting your arm, and then the next strike coming in, you're going to have to respond and defend yourself immediately. So it's very cool to see that. So I really recommend checking out the Dog Brothers posts. Most of what you'll find on YouTube, in my experience, is highlight reel stuff. But I think they're working on something to get full events showing in different forums. I just, as far as I know, it's only highlight reel stuff, but it's still really cool and really interesting stuff to check out. So I guess that's all I have for today. I got a pair of butterfly swords coming. I know last week I was posting about my European my European hand and a half. And as soon as I have a chance to cut with it, I will put up like some kind of actual review of what I think of the sword. Again, I can't really put it in terms of other European swords, but I can put it in terms of other swords that I own and how they cut and how they hit. So it should still be fairly relevant. But I have a pair of butterfly swords coming from traditionalphilippineweapons.com. And as soon as I get those, and I'm able to cut with those, I'll do a review for those too. I think going forward, I'll try to do a review of all the equipment that I get as I get it, what my initial kind of thoughts are on it. Yeah, guys, so thanks for checking it out. And again, if you guys have anything to post about contact stick fighting or some of the things that we were talking about, or that I was just talking about with your training, things that you've come across, I'd love to hear it. So I still have a long way to go, a lot to learn, but it's always great to get